So Saturday, July 17th, the moon is in Libra and will be in Libra until about, let's say, 4-ish p.m. Atlantic Standard Time. We have a lot of ground to cover while the moon is still in Libra before jumping into the deep, dark Scorpio waters. So the moon in Libra sextiles Mars. This is a great energy out of the day. It gives us a little bit of a bump, gives us a little bit of confidence, passion, aggression to go ahead and kind of free ourselves, advocate for ourselves, push ourselves in the right direction. We are now taking our extreme ways of living, thinking, feeling, and acting, and we are kind of, bringing the guidelines in so that our path is a little bit more defined. The moon in Libra, after having that very successful, expansive, action-filled energy of Mars and Leo, really firing us up and making us a little bit more brave and confident to take on these new set of challenges, the moon in Libra makes an aspect with Neptune, retrograde in Pisces, which again wants to remind us that yes, we're acting out of this fire energy, out of this aggression energy, but every single time we have to take a step forward, we have to move inward and say, okay, is my heart happy with this? Is my head happy with this? Are we on the right path? Neptune in Pisces, especially retrograde, is here to strip away the illusions. We don't want to make an action and say, okay, I'm going to stay on this path because I see the potential. We want to take an action. We want to bring in the information of what that action actually has meant for us and use that information to gauge our next step in reality, not in potential, not in dreamland, not in what it is that we want it to be, in actual fact of where it is that the information is indicating that our next move should be. The moon in Libra sextiles Venus in Leo. Again, Venus rules over the Libran energy. This is going to be a blending of energy because it is a sextile. This is emotional contentment, emotional peace, emotional harmony, emotional balance in going after the new passions and the desires. So we talked earlier in the week about finding, that peaceful moment in living in extremes, finding your center point in living in extremes, riding the wave of the good until the good is no more. That's what's happening right now. We're validating for ourselves that, we're listening to our heart space, we're listening to our head space, we're honoring our soul's mission, we are putting ourselves out there, we are having fun doing it. We are throwing caution to the wind. However, we are still taking, I always say, when they say follow your heart, well, I say follow your heart, but take your head with you because that bitch sometimes lies. Our heart can lie to us because we get so overwhelmed with emotion, good, bad, or otherwise, that we think that our heart knows the deal, but we need to bring our mental plane into every single feeling that we have to make sense of it, to make a logical and practical plan in moving forward. So then the moon in Libra makes an aspect with the true node, reminding us of the big vision, reminding us where it is that we need to maybe tweak some plans that we originally had that maybe don't make sense anymore because we're not relying on potential. We're relying on realistic points of view. And at that particular time, the sun makes an aspect with Jupiter, which is volume all the way up, a magnification on where it is that we are doing right for ourselves, by ourselves. We are nurturing ourselves. We are pouring into ourselves. We are implementing our boundaries. Like I said, we are building to this first quarter moon, which takes place when the moon squares the sun. So the moon in Libra squaring the sun in Cancer creates a tension point. This is the first quarter moon. This is the first set of obstacles and challenges that the universe tests us with. Did you really learn something? Are you really going to advocate for yourself? Are you really going to implement that boundary? And just as that happens, an inner transformation takes over us. We become empowered because the moon also squares Pluto, retrograde, and Capricorn, the great death and destroyer of all the things old. And that's how we know that we're going to pass this set of challenges, pass this universal test, to stand up, to advocate for ourselves. to go ahead and operate in a way that we haven't operated before. We're going to pass that test because Pluto, the great transformer, cuts the head off the snake and leaves the old in the past to die. We are empowered. We take our power back. We are controlling the situation. We are controlling our mind, our emotions, the actions in which we are going to move forward with. And just as that happens, the moon definitely shifts, and we are going to feel this shift. It is going to be a buildup of energies, and then we are going to enter into the Scorpio energy, which is dark, which is probing, which is the great transformer ruled over by Pluto energy. This is an inner transformation. You know how sometimes you surprise yourself and you advocate for yourself, or you implement that boundary, and it's all over, and you're like, damn, I just really did that. Like, go me. Like, that is awesome of you. You just made a huge move there. Like, good for you. Well, that's the energy that we get coming into this first quarter crisis and being challenged to walk the walk and talk the talk, and rising to that challenge, taking control, seeing that transformation, and how that energy reverberates through the cosmos. So the Scorpio moon now trines with Jupiter in Pisces in a retrograde. So this is water on water on water, magnifying for us the growth that we just did, the expansion that our mental planes are now pouring into, the possibilities, the opportunities of riding this wave further. Mercury makes an aspect with the true node. And this is a beautiful reminder now with this very deep and meaningful transformation that you can't go back from, where it is that we're setting our sights now. Because what is possible to us now was not even possible to us yesterday morning. We just rose to an occasion where we were tested by the universe, where we passed with flying colors, and now this opens up a brand new avenue, a brand new path, a brand new possibility on what is actually possible for us, because we're empowered in a way that we haven't been empowered before. So the sun goes ahead and opposes Pluto. The sun in Cancer, again, wrapping up the life lessons in Cancer season, sitting across from Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. This is highlighting for us, again, I want to take you back at the fact that for the last 2 years, we have been learning the lesson of the nodes when they were on the Cancer Capricorn axis. The Cancer Capricorn axis is about security. The Cancer energy is emotional security, emotional safety, where our homes and our families and our boundaries are concerned. Capricorn energy is our financial security, where our reputations, our roles and our responsibilities, our commitments are concerned, linked to our career, linked to our reputations. So we just had the new moon in Cancer. Last month, we had the full moon in Capricorn, really bringing full circle what it is that we've learned over the last 2 years about having to balance the scales of the roles and responsibilities required of us in the home versus our careers, our emotional stability versus our financial stability. Sometimes we have to sacrifice our home and our family dynamics and our emotional security in order to go after that next financial advancement in our careers. So the balance has been out of whack. The balance has been trying to be restored. The new moon in Cancer we just had is trying to illuminate for us where it is now. We have to pour into restabilizing our foundation in our emotions, in our home, in our family dynamic, in the boundaries that we put in place to make sure that we aren't sacrificing what means most to us in order to gain financially in our careers. So this is going to bring up some tension here, because the sun in Cancer now showing us where it is that we are nurturing ourselves, where we do have to nurture ourselves back to a place of emotional security, very much the mother energy, where it is that we're mothering ourselves back to a reality that pours into us instead of sucking the life out of us. Opposite Pluto, which is illuminating for us the transformation that has taken place that we can never go back to. Again, we leveled up. We passed the test. It opens up a brand new possibility of the future. It also closes the door on some of the situations that had transpired in the past when we were not balanced and advocating for ourselves. This is just going to be a reminder of the growth that we've done in just a week since the new moon in Cancer last week, and where it is that now we are going to grow and expand moving forward based off of the new foundations, the boundaries that we have set for ourselves, putting ourselves first and foremost. So, the moon in Scorpio makes 2 more aspects until the day is done, and that is with the true node and Mars. So the moon in Scorpio, which is very, very deeply analytical and probing into our psyche, into our heart space, recognizing that a lot of change, a lot of transformation has taken place, recognizing where it is that we are an alchemist, turning the darkness into light, the pain into power, is recognizing now the new snapshot of the future goal, the future dream that we are now working to manifest. And in that moment, Mars, which co-rules over Scorpio, in Leo, very passionate, very full of desire, very much on the move, trucking forward one step by one step, taking in at each step how the game has changed, where it is that we are going to move forward in the next step of the game. Very much about chess here. I don't know if you're into chess, but very much trying to be strategic in where it is that we're going to make the move from here. This is going to fire us up. This is going to empower us. This is going to set us up for a beautiful week coming in the next week. And I hate to get too ahead of myself, but we have Venus moving out of Leo, moving into Virgo. We have Cancer season ending, Leo season beginning. And we have the very first of 2 back-to-back full moons in Aquarius about to take place. So we have a lot of growth happening. We have a lot of change happening. We have a lot of preparation taking place, empowering us to the point where we are now putting ourselves first. We are listening to our mental state. We are listening to our heart space. We are listening to the validations and the markers and the cues from the universe on where it is that we are strategically flying by the seat of our pants until we can hit stable ground.